today. I mean, yesterday we had a phenomenal training. I'm sure you guys were excited. You learned a lot about the trial run and how to expose your business without having to alert those sales antennas, because we talked about it yesterday. You know, a lot of people, they like to buy, but they don't like to be sold. And the way to, I go about it, I don't go about it. I'm not really, to the point where I'm forcing people to get in. I'm more focused on their network, the people who they know. And I remember even when I was starting, it was just all about edification. And I mean, you guys could even do this as well. If you're looking for people maybe that you're close with, rather than saying, hey, man, I got this opportunity that I need you to get into, why don't you try something more like, hey, I got a project I just launched. I'm really excited about it. I'm looking actually to launch it right here in Fort Lauderdale. And I'm looking for a couple of key people to help me with expanding it. I already know you making the big money, so this clearly isn't for you. But what I'm looking for, if you can help me out, if you can point me in the right direction for the type of people I'm looking for, by evaluating it, this could be mutually profitable for the both of us. Listen, I'm about to actually pick up my daughter from school, or, you always hit the hurry approach. Listen, I'm about to go to the airport. I'm about to go step in a meeting, whatever it is. People like to do business with people that are busy. And you let them know, hey, I'm in a hurry. Why don't we get together for lunch? Why don't we get together for coffee so I can get more into detail on what I'm looking, what type of person I'm looking for. And when you sit down with them, you kind of show them the business presentation, not to get them in by showing them the type of business we're in, but who do you know that has less than perfect credit? Who do you know that's a realtor? Who do you know that's in real estate? Who do you know that's a tax preparer? Who do you know that's a single mom? Who do you know that's sick and tired of being sick and tired? Now, as you're saying this, they're thinking like, well, I know this person. I know this person. Well, listen, all I'm asking you to do is point me in the direction of the people you know. And if you can lead me to those people, hey, listen, this could be mutually profitable for the both of us. Now, when I say mutually be profitable, by that person either A, putting that post up on his social media or leading you to the person that's a tax preparer, realtor, whatever that person is, he's going to say, well, bro, I like the way this looks. How can I get involved? And then you know what I do? I say, well, cousin or whatever his name is, brother, or maybe it could be a friend of yours. Bro, I didn't even think you'd want to be involved. I thought you were already making the big money. See, the mistake you guys do, or most people do, is you try to focus on trying to get that person in. When that happens, your neurological part of your brain that's for survival is automatically going to have a defense mechanism where they're defensive, they're skeptical, and they're like, whoa, well, let me think about it. So I never directly try to recruit them. I say, listen, if you can lead me to the right person, it could be mutually profitable for both of us. Now, when I present it to them and I say, hey, who do you know? They're like trying to sell themselves to me. See, guys, you don't want to sell anything. You want the person, your prospect, to sell themselves to you. You want them to be begging you to be their mentor. You want people begging you for your business partner to mentor them. Because if you're begging them to get in, you will never get people to join your enterprise. You will never get people to join you as a customer. So that's a quick tip on that. But tonight, we're going to be talking about how to close 90%. Almost 100, really, to be honest with you. But I don't want to say 100, so I know we like 100% right now. We're at the free throw line. But how to close almost 90% of the customers you talk to. And tonight, I'm going to have a guest on tonight. He's going to actually talk about how, he's been killing it, man. And he's going to talk about some tips that, he does and it just makes sense on what he does as far as creating value, and that's what I do. You know, even when it comes to the agent side, I mean, it's not, it's just creating value for the consumer. So he's going to talk about a little bit about the consumer side and what he does as far as getting, like, I mean, this guy's been killing it. And, you know, he's on his way to being probably a sales director by Saturday in a short period of time. So I'm proud of what he's been doing. And I'm going to have him on tonight to share some of his tips on how he's been doing it. So, guys, I'm going to be doing a lot of training, and sometimes I'm going to be bringing different people on. I'm going to be watching what you guys are doing. And you guys, you know, I'm going to just have different people share their testimony and just tips. We're just going to keep giving value on, so you can get different notes, different nuggets from different people. So without further ado, this gentleman, man, he's been in the music industry. He's been, like I said, killing it. So Gordon Clark, are you on the line tonight?
I am, brother. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, they could hear you loud and clear, my brother. Man, I mean, bro, I've been watching you for a minute, and it's funny when we first connected, you know, I just knew, you know, I know you're in the Alabama area, and you know, it's a little slower than how it is in Florida.
Right.
But you still find a means and a way, you know, to still get a lot of customers enrolled, even agents. And you know, I've even took notes from you, Gordon. And you know, one thing I've always say, never be too big to do the small things. Even though I'm a senior vice president, you can always stay in learning mode. And you know, I'm not going to be the guy to say, hey, I know everything, because I don't. The one who knows everything knows nothing. So, I mean, just introduce yourself and tell the crowd, you know, like who you are, where you come from, and where you going.
Oh, definitely. My name's Gordon Clark. Now, he did touch on the fact that I was in the music industry. I come from Mobile, Alabama. All right. That's definitely the birthplace of Mardi Gras. I know a lot of people know about New Orleans. It was definitely in Mobile 50 years before New Orleans, because we, you know, colonized America from the east and moved to the west. So that's how it came about. Now, I was in the Marine Corps.
Right.
I learned a lot of stuff about business there, and I also went to Florida A&M University before I ended up settling down in Detroit. And I got in Detroit, that's how I started the music industry. So fast forward through all of that, I met Bruce. And actually, the funny part about it is he told me about this business way ahead of time. I had a lot of stuff going on in my life at the time, and I passed it up, you know. And the next time I talked to Bruce, he's like, "Yeah, so $60,000 a month," and I'm like, well, maybe I need to double back and talk to Bruce real quick." And we sat down and we had a conversation. And the crazy part about it is, you know, good people, you know. And we sat down and we talked. We had like a talk. What was it, like 2-3 hours almost, just talking.
Yeah.
Just literally talking. And then he was like, "You know what? Just go ahead and get this going, man." And I haven't looked back since. So a couple of things, like I said, we're going to touch on tonight is starting to create value. All right. Something that Bruce had said earlier about people. They don't want to be sold. All right. They definitely do not want to be sold. So you want to look at the things that do make people sell. And you got to put yourself in the mind of a customer right now. People buy off of their emotion. Okay. So a lot of times we try to sell them, and we'll sell them on logic, all these different types of facts. Now, granted, they do want to know that, but if you can do that while invoking some emotion into it, right? What kind of pulls at people's heartstrings? You'll get a sale every time. So here's a couple of things that I do when I talk to somebody. Let's talk about the customer side. Once we get them on the phone, all right? Because I try to rush to get them on the phone. I don't really try to elaborate in inboxes or all that. I try to get that, you know, conversation going, you know, build rapport. Right. And then I ask them a couple of questions. I start off with, in which I call a fact finder. I ask them, what is your credit score? Because your goal is to get them to start talking. As long as your customer is talking and telling you about their situation, they're closing themselves. Because you got to remember this, credit sells itself. All right. So anytime that they say, hey, what is that you do? Could you tell me more about the credit? they're sold. You know, you got to treat it like a girl that says, you know what, I'll let you take me on a date. She likes you. She lets you take her on a date, okay? It's on you to rather be successful or mess it up. All right? So it's the same thing. So when they say that, hey, they know what you do. We're selling one thing, credit. They came to you. They want your service, okay? Now you have to create value. You have to be different from everybody else out there, okay? And we got all the tools to do so.
Right.
All in your back office, all right? So whenever you look at your FBS protection plan, all right, you're going to go up in there, and it's going to...
You want me to log in right now as we're doing this?
Sure. Go ahead.
All right, so everyone can see it as we're doing it. All right, guys.
Okay.
So you can see.
Right, so right, that's it. All right, so you go into there. This is your FBSPP protection plan, okay? Your FBS protection plan. You're going to hit credit restoration.
Right here?
Access account, right there. Credit restoration, all right? Either one to do. All right, and then you're going to see that green button at the top that says Access UCES account.
Okay.
All right. Now, this is a whole bunch of information right here. You're going to hit Establishing Credit right there. Okay. Now, when I talk to people, I do my fact finder. Okay. I ask them, hey, what's your credit score? And my next question, and anybody that's been on the phone with me knows my next question is this. What is the main thing that's bringing down your score? All right. That's an open-ended question. That gets them to start talking. Oh, I got student loans. I got bankruptcies. They are telling you how to close them. If you look on that screen, you see all those red tabs up there. There's everything that you need to know about fixing their credit.
Wow.
Okay. So this is how you create value. So what I do is I get them to commit to me without asking them to. The only thing that I ask them to do is, hey, do you have a pen to write some of this stuff down? That statement right there is promising them that you're about to give them something that they don't know. Okay? So they're going to take the pen. They're anxious at this point. All right?
So Gordon, what if they're driving? What do you do there? Do you still tell them the pen?
Now, actually, a lot of times when I tell them, when I set up an appointment, okay, I'll shoot them an inbox, or I tell them, I say, hey, when is a good time? Send me your email, because I get the emails too. I ask for the email, the phone number, all right, and a good time to call them. Make sure that you're somewhere where you can write something down, have a pen and pad. We're going to go over some information. I let them know that before I set up the appointment. All right.
That's awesome, man. That's some good
right there. Now, the reason that you do that is this. You have to make people to respect your business, okay? And a lot of times when you're doing business, especially with people that you know, your weakest level of support is going to come from your family and friends, period. And that's not because they don't like you or anything like that. The bottom line is this. They know you as a family member and a friend before they know you as a businessman or woman, okay? So you have to kind of get them out of that mindset. So, and this is another topic, but you can go and look at it. You want to get outside of that circle, but when you first start off, you're going to be in that circle. You are going to be talking to people that you know, all right? So a lot of times you have to set parameters, you know, and if you can do it with your circle, that weakest level of support, it's real easy to do it with people that's outside of your circle, okay? All right? So when you set those standards, hey, have a pen and paper ready. We're going to go over some stuff. All the laugh and stop, because now they're paying attention. And the more that you talk, the more you're going to hear them tune in. And when they start asking questions, you got them. Okay? So look for those. When they start asking questions, you know you got them. You can go ahead and work them to the close. Now, the first thing, you want to guide them along. You're going to ask them, hey, do you have a checking or savings account at a major bank? All right? Write that down. You want them to have a major bank. Now, a lot of people have a bank. I tell them still, when I write this list that I'm giving you, write it down. If you already have it done, write it down anyway and put a check by it. All right? That shows them that they're progressing. And what you want to do, you want them to have some of these things already done, because people hate incomplete things. Like you start talking about the way the brain works. Have you ever had something that was partially finished It just eats at you until it's finished.
Yep.
So you want them to start that list. And the more stuff that they check, praise them for it. Praise them for it. Oh, that is outstanding. You know, you're ahead of a lot of people right here. That's going to work in your favor. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to try to get rid of all the negative things on your credit. But we want you to replace it with good things on your credit. So we're going to work as a team. What you just did was you develop a relationship with them and a commitment from them before you even thought about going to the close. Now they're closing themselves. Okay. So you tell them to get a bank account. All right. Make sure that they have a checking and a savings account. And if you look at it, it tells you exactly what to say. You can just read it to them. And put your own words in it. It gets to be easy after a while. And you say, you know what? You want to have that major bank account, because what you're doing is you're creating a history of being able to manage money. And that's what they're looking for. Okay. You want to establish that relationship with the bank. Okay. And then the next thing you tell them, make sure you have a credit card. Some people have credit cards, some people don't. And the people that are scared of it, now you're educating them about why a credit card is good. And guess what? We offer a secured card. Okay. We're still offering value. Okay. Now you tell them, hey, you want to have those cards. All right. And you want to make sure that you keep it beneath 30%. You know, I tell people 10%, but at least 30%. And I tell them, hey, you want to find out from your credit card, what date of the month do they report to the credit bureau? Right. Tell them to write that down too. What day do they report? Because the date that they report, you want to make sure that you're beneath 30% on that date that they report. Because some credit cards will have you paying after they've already reported, because this is when you sign up. Right. So you want to make sure with that credit card, what date do they report to the credit bureau? Okay. Next thing. Okay. The next thing you're going to do is, as you're building that credit limit. Okay. You're building that credit. You know, eventually it's going to go from a secured card to an unsecured card. All the while, we're working on your credit. We're getting all those negative things off there. Now, some of the main things that people are going to talk about are student loans, bankruptcies, child support. And you let them know, hey, we're going to be able to get all those inquiries off and everything, but make sure that you have that, make sure that you have a payment arrangement set up. If you have a payment arrangement set up for that student loan, then we can go ahead and start getting that cleared off your credit. In the meantime, these are the things that I need you to be doing. All right. So the next thing after that, debit card.
Take out a payment arrangement, Gordon. What happens?
Say again?
What happens when people don't have a payment arrangement? Or I know a lot of people, they get the student loans, but they get in deferment or default. What would you tell that person who have their student loans in deferment?
Well, actually, they'll tell you themselves. You'll hear them start talking about they don't have enough money to this. And this is the reason why it's so important to make this list, because you're writing out all the things that they need to do. And at the same time, they're going to let you know what they can't afford to do. So you're teaching them to tackle one thing at a time. A lot of times that they don't have that student arrangement set up. I mean, that arrangement for the student loan set up is simply because they can't afford to right now, because they're trying to do everything at one time. Right. So when you write this list out, all right, you're going to tell them, okay, you want to get the credit card beneath 30%. Okay. Now we got the credit card beneath 30%. Now we want to make sure that we've set up, you've got it in deferment. Now we can move to the student loan. Okay. Because now the credit card is reporting positively to your credit report. Your bank, since you set that up, is reporting positively to your credit report. Okay. Now we got to get a payment arrangement set up for this student loan. Try to get it low as possible. But the moment that you get that set up, now we can start taking that off of your credit as well. In the meantime, we'll be getting. Go ahead.
No, that's right. That's
okay. In the meantime, we're getting the rest of this stuff off. So what you're doing right there is, when you start creating a value like this, you've already let them know that they're going to be in a commitment with you for a lengthy amount of time, and not thinking about quitting. You know, because if you haven't created value, you might get this question: well, how long is it going to take? How long is it going to take? Well, when they start asking that question, you haven't went over enough stuff. Because when I get to the end of this list, they're more focused on completing the list than they are about how long they're gonna be on there. They'll tell you, yeah, I'm gonna be on here for about a year, and then I can move into my house. You will hear them say it. They're not even gonna ask you how long it's gonna take because they kind of got an idea when you start going over the things that they need to take out that they already know. So they're closing themselves. Now, you tell them to take out a small loan. Okay, once they've gotten enough relationship with that bank, and I tell them a lot of times you want to be there, at least 6 months. Okay, while we're working on your credit, you're also working on that relationship with the bank. Okay, and you want to take out a small loan. Now that small loan, you're not going to spend that money. You're going to put it in your savings account. Okay, you're going to put it in that savings account and start collecting interest, and you're going to pay off that loan back monthly, building credit. What's that's going to do is going to raise your credit even more. And now you're going to go to that credit card and you're going to ask them, hey, I want to increase my credit limit. When you increase that credit limit, that's going to improve your credit utilization ratio, and that's going to increase your credit score. You're giving them specific things that they can do. You're creating value. People want to go with stuff that they feel like can work. A lot of times when you say that you're doing credit repair, everybody's heard the horror stories and they're like, you know what, that don't work. But now you're giving them specific stuff that they know will work and it makes sense. And when stuff makes sense, it makes dollars. Okay? Then the next thing you're going to do is this. You tell them about the authorized user. All right? Now, this is the part where you can pepper in some of those emotional strings. Because I always tell them this. You want to find someone that has good credit, be it your mate, your parents, or whatever. And if you have good credit, when you get good credit, you can use this to help your kids. Put your kids on as an authorized user. They don't have to have a credit card. You don't even have to tell them that you did it. But when they get out of high school and they get ready to go to college, you've already done everything that you can to make sure that they have good credit, including putting them on as authorized user. Because if they like anything, or the parents that I know, or that we all grew up with, our parents would do stuff like put us on cable bills that we couldn't pay. Electricity bills, we have kids that we don't own for taxes. Like, we'll use kids for that. So now we got to start re-educating our kids, okay? And saying, you know what, this list that we're making now, share this list with your children, because this is the stuff that we're about. And this, once you start telling them about using this list and sharing it with their kids and putting their kids on as an authorized user, that is a perfect segue for you to tell them about YFL, which is Youth Financial Literacy. And it's something that we feel strongly about, so much, in fact, that we're giving $350,000 away in scholarships. Okay? So they would tell you about their kids when you're asking them those first questions, the fact finder. Do you have kids? When you build a rapport, find out everything you can about them. Because the more you find out about them, the more you can close them with. All right? And once you go into the close, now you got them. Because now they see value. And so even when they tell you, hey, I don't have it, they're going to call you back every time, because nobody has taken the time to explain to them how to build credit. All they told them is, we're going to get you some letters done. So what I do is I tell them all of this first, and then I tell them, now while you're doing this, this is what we're going to be doing to help you out. We're going to go ahead and write those letters for you, and we're going to send them to you. Now, let me tell you the reason why we're sending them to you to sign. Because if we send them from the office, the credit bureau can treat it as a frivolous account and wait for 45 days before they even act on them. But instead, now we're going to send it to you because we're all about action. We want to make sure that you get taken care of as quickly as possible. What did I just do right there? I answered a question before it was asked, because they're going to ask you, how long does it take, right? So I try to handle everything that they're going to ask me before they get a chance to ask. You're thorough. You're very informative. You're nice. You're telling them a good job, so you're boosting their ego. Hey, we're going to take care. We're in this together. So tell you what, we're going to go ahead and get you going. Now, it is $89 a month. We're the cheapest out there, because we've already edified the company, of course, at the beginning. Right. But we're the cheapest out there. I've told you we're the cheapest out there, but we're still the best. We're the only national credit company that has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. And we've had that since 2004. And anytime you got over 15 years plus with an A+ rating, you're doing something right. All right. And we're trying to make sure we keep that rate. So this is what we're going to do. It's $89 a month. Okay. And normally it's a $99 setup fee. Okay. That's going to be $188. But we have a promotion going on. I was telling we have a promotion going on. If you sign up today, we can waive $99. It's going to be $89 today. Okay. And that promotion ends today. But up until Saturday, it's going to be $138. After $138, it goes to $188. It goes back to the original price. So when do you want to sign? Which one of those do you want to take advantage of? All right. So if they don't have 89 today, a lot of times they're going to fight or go and borrow 89 because they don't want to pay the extra $100 for Sunday. Two, they don't mind the 138 because it's cheaper than 188. Yep. Okay. And then the other thing is this: some people just don't have it, but you've created so much value in it, they don't mind paying the 188 because they're looking at that list. Now you put something in their hand, and I tell them, hey, check it off, put it on your refrigerator, look at it every day. Look at it every day. Check it off. Have the whole family. Y'all work together on this. Check this off. Once you got value and they're starting to look at it, they may tell you, okay, well, I'm not going to get paid. You'll start noticing when you use this, they start saying when they can pay, it's going to be a shorter and shorter time. Because before you started using this, they would say, well, next month or the first part of the year. And now it's, well, I get paid on Friday. Well, you know the reason why we tell them that everything changes on Sunday? Because our pay period ends on Saturday.
Yep.
So after Saturday, 138 is bye-bye. It goes back to 188. So you want to get all of that in, okay? Mm-hmm. And so that's what I call an ABC close. You're giving them 3 different choices. You give them the 89 for today and 138 from tomorrow all the way up until Saturday. After Saturday, it goes back to 188. All right? So, and you'll know when to do it. And a lot of times I'll bundle it as well. You know, well, we can do that. I'll tell you what, you can't do it to number 188. You still got to create value, right? Well, tell you what, if you bring your spouse along, I can get both of you in for 88 or for 89. Or I can get both of you in, one of you for 89 and the other one for 138. Give them options, you know, and tell them, hey, you know, Thanksgiving's coming up. Anything that you can use, Thanksgiving's coming up. I'm going to give you a call back next week on that day too, because we may be having another promotion since Thanksgiving's coming up. I never know. So tell you what, I'm going to give you a call on that day and we'll see what's going on. What you just did was you just made it, you know, easier for them to pick up because they already want the product, but they're also going to pick up because there just might be a promotion. All right. And before you get off, you always do this. Hopefully I've offered you expert service and they're going to praise you for it because you just educated them. But then the next thing you're going to do is this. Hey, I'm trying to help as many people as I can. All right. That's the same way I help you. I'm trying to help as many people as I can. If you don't mind, if I send you something, could you post it for me? All right. And you send it to them. Who wants to get their credit report fit? Who wants to raise their credit score for 2018? Type info, and my friend Gordon will take care of you. What that's doing is what? They're introducing you to their circle. Now you're outside of your circle again, and they're vouching for you. Okay? They're vouching for you now. So now you're right where you want to be. You're at limitless leads now because now they're promoting for you and they're vouching for you. These people don't know you, but the person they do know is vouching for you. Now, only thing that they know about you is you're a businessman and you're a professional. So that's pretty much it. I really get right to it, you know, and I kind of guide them along the whole way. I don't really ask them too much. I let them do all the talking. And then I just start telling them, this is the process. Write this down. This is the process. Write this down. Post it. And we're going to walk through this together. And I close them every time. Every time. Now, we say 90%. I know one day I'm going to run across a person that says, no, it hadn't happened yet. It hadn't happened yet.
So every person you speak to, let's just say we speak to 10 people. How many of them will you say you would sign up that day?
That day? Normally that day, I normally get like 4 of them.
So that's about 40%. That's not bad, bro.
Right. I normally get 4 of them. The reason being is because that $89 is real attractive. It's real attractive. And let me tell y'all something too. Utilize your calves. If you haven't paid attention to it, utilize those calves because you may feel like you're giving away money by doing that 89. Okay. But you got to look at this. If people aren't signing up and you sign 2 people up for 188, and the other person signs up 12 people or 20 people that month for 89, for one, the residuals in itself, uh, they're going to be sitting a lot better than you are the next month. And furthermore, when you start triggering caps, okay, uh, you'll start seeing when you're an agent, field trainer, those caps go up. So I think for an agent, it's going to be $100. So you made that $100 back. It doesn't matter. You did 89. Plus you got the residuals.
Right.
But if you're a field trainer, I believe it's 160. And if it's a senior field trainer, it's 240. You see, so it's starting to go up. So you make more money signing them up for $89 and triggering the cab with them. You make more money that way. And you got more residuals coming the next month. It's a better system all the way around. But just pay attention to your customers when you're asking them those first questions. Listen to their energy. A person that don't have the money is going to kind of sound like this. Well, their energy is going to be low. But if you start talking about how much it costs and their energy is high, oh yeah, okay, and they're asking questions about somebody else signing them up too, it's a good chance they're probably going to close for that 188. They don't mind, because money is only an issue when there's lack thereof. All right. So if you start talking about money and they don't flinch and their energy is still high, they're cool with the price. Close on the 188. It's easy every time.
Wow, man. Gordon, man, this is phenomenal training, guy. Man, I appreciate you on this webinar, man. And this is gonna help a lot of people, because there's people out here, man. They feel like maybe they're struggling with customers, or maybe they don't know how to close 100% of the people. This is a great way of giving so much value,
Right.
walking them step by step. And I know for a fact this is gonna help a lot of people with the more customers, especially with tax season coming up. I can see somebody on this call tonight that's probably going to be enrolling 20 customers a week, 30 customers a week, all because of this wonderful training that you brought to the team, man.
Me.
Thanks a lot.
So,
Me.
All right, Bianca.
so does anybody, I want to open it up for questions. Does anybody have any questions you guys want to ask Gordon or myself before we end tonight's call?
Yes, I have a question.
Okay.
Okay. Well, hi, Bruce. My name is Mahogany. Nice to meet you.
Hey, likewise.
Okay. So my question is, how are you maintaining your customers? Like, are you doing, like, what am I trying to say? Do you check up on them? Do you send out follow-ups like, hey, make sure you send out your letters and things like that? Or do you kind of like, after like a month or two, you kind of like let them go by the wayside? Or like, what's your method in that to like keep them going?
Now, my method is a little bit different. On Saturdays, actually every Saturday morning, what I do is I go into my back office and I go into my my customer reports. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And I normally check and see who's been activated, because you'll be amazed. A lot of times people will buy it and they think, since I've paid for it and I've got that text message, because, a text message goes out once they sign up, and they think that's it. And so a lot of times throughout the week, I'll check and I'll go and double check on Saturdays to make sure that they've activated at least their credit restoration.
Mm-hmm.
If they haven't, I'll reach out to them by phone and say, hey, I noticed you haven't activated your services. And a lot of times they just forgot to go and activate it. You want to check that, because what you don't want is that bad testimony. So a phone call doesn't hurt anyone. Or even shoot them a text if you don't have time to call them. Shoot them a text. Hey, I just checked and noticed that you hadn't activated your credit services. Did you need any help?
Mm-hmm.
Or you can guide them to the customer service, because sometimes people have issues trying to sign up. And you may have an appointment at that time. You can shoot them a text message and say, hey, go ahead and contact customer service if you're having issues trying to get logged in. Some people's forgotten their stuff. They've changed the password and all that kind of stuff. So that happens. But I do follow up with my customers on Saturdays when they first sign up, just to make sure that they got the gist of things. When I have time. Sometimes I have a book Saturday and I may skip it, but I'll try to get around to it when they first get started. And then I make sure that they know to, if you have any issues, call customer service. Because if they start bombarding you, that's gonna you can't really service them as well as customer service can, and you still got to make your calls too. So you got to, you know, your time is important just as theirs, and you kind of set that tone. My time is important, and even when I talk on, oh, you heard Bruce said something about being busy. People like busy people. When people tell me, hey, what's a good time to call, blah blah blah. Hey, go ahead and set up a schedule right here, and I let them know. Yeah, I just got done signing up 4 people. I let them know I just signed up people, because a lot of times I want to take away that whole thing. People have a mentality that they're doing you a favor by fixing their credit. All right. So a lot of times I'll let them know that, hey, I'm doing business with or without you. Period. I'm doing business with or without you. All right.
So someone asked about the cabs. I mean, I don't want to really make this training about cabs.
Right.
I guess we're just going to run over it real quick. We could probably do another training on that.
Sure.
But, you know, just so you guys know, every time you enroll a customer, and when that customer makes 2 payments, or if you can move 2 customers, it takes 2 payments to trigger the cap. So you can either do 2 things. You can wait for that customer to make the second payment and move 1 customer, or you can use 2 customers that's in your holding tag and trigger the cap. So every time you enroll an agent, depending on your title, this is your title over here on the side, depending on where you find your title, every time you enroll an agent, this is what you're going to get paid up front. All right? Company's going to pay you partial of the money, but if you want to get the remaining, they're going to give you 70 days. 70 days to get the remaining money. So you see this money sitting here? If you got agents, enrolling agents, you probably have a lot of money sitting back there. And there's a countdown. Every single day that goes by, there's a countdown. The company's sitting there waiting like, are you going to trigger that cab? If you don't trigger the cab, you know where the money goes? They give you over 70 days. That's almost 2 months. 2 months now. If they give you 2 months to help your agent get 2 customers, if you can't help your agents get 2 customers, that means you're not doing a good job training your team to get customers. So this is the reason why we're putting this video together, because I want you guys to be making sure that you're training your agents how to get these customers, because if everybody's getting cabs, you know, you shouldn't have to be triggering all your cabs for your teammates. Your agents should be bringing in their own customers. And imagine how much money you can make. I mean, if you're a sales director, you bring in 3 agents, 380 times 3. I mean, that's almost $1,200 in 1 week. So this is the remaining money you make when you trigger the cab right here on this side. So this is the total. They pay you this up front for bringing in the agent. They pay you the remaining once you help that agent gets the cab trigger, which is either 2 customers or 1 customer that made 2 payments. Hopefully that answers your question. And you guys will learn more about this later on, or make sure you register for convention if you want to get trained. All right. Any other questions before we wrap it up? Was this a good training? Hope you guys got good value out of tonight's training.
Yes, it's always a good training.
Thank you.
Definitely on point.
All right. So I guess we're gonna wrap it up. Yeah, we're gonna have a training tomorrow in Fort Lauderdale. I won't be able to provide you.
Thank you, Bruce.
No problem. I won't be able to provide you guys a training like we're doing today, but you know, I'm gonna keep you guys, you know, trained, and I want you guys to constantly be doing. I mean, how many of you guys got trial runs going on? Hopefully, you guys have 3 or 4 people on trial runs. You know, if you guys got trial runs, are you guys seeing results from it? Are you guys seeing some maybe some unqualified people? You know what? Half the times I hope they don't qualify, so you don't waste my. The last thing I
Right.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. Half the time, I hope you do not qualify. You know why? Because I don't want to raise another teenager. I don't want to raise another baby. I got 2 kids. The last thing I want to do is raise another kid because they don't know how to lead the people, because they want me to hold them like a baby. No. I want you to lead me to people. And if you can't do it, then what are we doing here? I don't want you to waste your money. I don't want to waste my time. I got other people I got to help. So half the time, you better hope they don't qualify because you don't want to you don't want to be babysitting nobody.
Right. I tell people all the time, your money replaceable. My time's not.
Hey, Bruce, you said you have a training tomorrow, right?
That's right.
I won't be having
time management.
But most likely we'll have another training on Monday, okay?
Bruce, sorry. This is Tanya.
Thank you.
Oh, hi, Tanya.
Hey, I just have a little small thing that can help as well with the trial run. I know I've kind of told you about it before, which is whenever you bring in a new agent, the first thing you should have them do is kind of like we do in the insurance business, which is have them sit down for about 40 minutes and make a list of 50 people from their phone, church, co-workers, no matter who it is, their name, their phone number, who they are to them, and have them send you that list. That's the first thing they do when they actually do enroll as an agent. Then they go ahead and do their posting on Facebook. That way, if they don't do anything else in the business by chance, you now have a list of 50 people that you can now work and make money from, so you didn't lose an investment. You didn't have to worry about what they did or didn't do. But better yet, it also helps them start calling these people three-way with you to get them sales immediately.
That's awesome. And that's some good information, Tanya. Very good information. So
Definitely.
Thanks for the nuggets. And by the way, you know, my other half over here, she's been grinding all. Listen, if you guys missed yesterday's training, listen.
Awesome.
Today alone, Nandy signed up 3 customers.
Hey.
3 customers. Listen. So if you guys missed yesterday's training, get back to yesterday's training. Customers. Agents. Remember, your goal every single week should be going field trainer. And what's field trainer? 2 agents, 2 customers. 2 agents, 2 customers. Every week you should be going field trainer. So I think we're done here, right?
Hey, Bruce, is there a way to go back and look at your Zoom from yesterday?
I'll post it back in the group again. If you don't have it, hopefully you got whoever invited you. You can get it from them if they don't have it, or have them just reach out to me.
I have a question.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Shoot.
Okay, so I know you mentioned something about the 30% or under, and to make sure to have 30% or under around the day that the credit the credit bureau's report. I wanted to see if he could elaborate a little bit on that.
Okay, sure. Your credit card reports to the credit bureau once a month. Some of them do twice, but you want to find out the days that they report to the credit bureau. Because let's say, for instance, the credit bureau say we report every fifth on the 15th of every month, right? Okay, so if you signed up for that card and your payment is on the 18th, right? And you pay everything up like on the 17th, they've already reported on the 15th. So they're reporting that you're not at 30% or and below. So whatever your limit is, you want, like, say if it was 1,000, all right, 30% of that 1,000. You see what I'm saying?
That's $300. So if you're over $300, that's over.
Right. That's over the limit. You know.
Okay.
So that's the thing. You want to stay under $300 if you have a $1,000 limit. You want to stay under 30%. If you can stay under 10%, fine. But by the time that they have their the date that they report to the credit bureau, you want to make sure that you're under that 30%. And a quick way to do that, the quick way to find that out is find out whatever that limit is and times it by 0.3.
Okay, so what about when you said about the secured card and then getting an unsecured card? Okay.
A lot of times people have bad credit. They're not eligible for an unsecured card. An unsecured card pretty much means it's pure credit. You know, you're using their credit card. A secured card means that you're putting your own money on the card, but it's reporting to the credit bureau that however much money is on the card is your limit. That's for that card. So on the credit bureau, it looks like you have $1,000 on the card for credit, but actually it's your $1,000 that's on that card. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. All right. Any other last questions, guys, before we wrap it up? All right, then. So, listen, Gordon, thank you for tonight's training again. Can't thank you enough for the nuggets. Even me, I'm over back here taking notes. You killed it, bro. I will, I had to record this one, man.
I appreciate it. Have fun.
I'm gonna go back and watch it like 1,900 times. Once I hit senior regional vice president, I will be thanking you for all the customers. Thank
you.
So, guys, thank you for all your support, and we'll see you at the top and from the yacht. Peace.